Okay, we are going to talk about prime and composite numbers today. I'm sure you've heard about them before, so hopefully everything that I say here today will just be review for you. So first of all, we need to know what factors are in order for us to know what prime or composite numbers are. So factors are two whole numbers that can be multiplied together to get another whole number. And an example of some factors, the factors of 8. You could get 8 by doing 1 times 8. You could get 8 by doing 2 times 4. So the list of the factors is 1, 2, 4, and 8. And we've had some practice listing factors this year when we were finding the greatest common factor, the GCF, on DMR before. So a prime number is a number with only two factors. It has to have exactly two factors. And those two factors would be the number 1 and the number itself. For instance, the number 13. The only way to multiply two numbers together to get 13 would be 1 times 13. So 13 would be prime. And if a number is not prime, then it is considered composite. And a composite number is a number with 3 or more factors. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that hundreds chart that was given to you before we left for e-learning break. And if you don't have the hundreds chart, then you could write the numbers 1 through 100 in your notebook, or you could just kind of watch me go through this and then make sure that you pause the video and write down the prime numbers. That's the important thing here, is what are the prime numbers when we're talking about the numbers 1 through 100. So before we start identifying those on the hundreds chart, we are going to talk about the divisibility rules of a couple numbers just to kind of help us out a little bit, okay? And I know you talked about those in 6th grade. So if a number is divisible by 2, that means that it ends in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So basically it's an even number if it's divisible by 2. If a number is divisible by 3, that means that the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. And if a number is divisible by 5, then that means it ends in a 0 or a 5. Okay? So again, go ahead and get out your hundreds chart real quick. I'm going to pause this video for just a second, and then we will identify them. All right, hopefully that was enough time for you to get your hundreds chart ready. So the first thing that first number that I'd like to talk about is the number 1. Now the number 1, the only way you can get 1 is by doing 1 times 1. So technically that's just one factor. So that means that the number 1 is not prime or composite. And I'll say that again. The number 1 is not prime or composite. The next number we come to is 2. And the only way to get a 2 is by doing 1 times 2. So 2 is prime. So we're going to circle it like that. Now, before we move on to 3, I want us to think about all of the other even numbers. Every other even number you can divide by 2. So that means 4 can be divided by 2, 6 can be divided by 2, 8 can be divided by 2, 10 can be divided by 2. Now, we could keep going like this, and it would take a really long time, but the way that this hundreds chart is set up, going 10 across and counting by 10s down, what's nice is every number here, you can see that all of these numbers end in a 2. So I know that all of these are even numbers which can be divided by 2. So they are all composite. So anything that ends in a 2, besides a 2, is composite. Anything that ends in a 4 is composite. So we can cross out this whole column. Anything that ends in a 6 is composite. We can cross out this column. And you should be doing this on your paper. While I'm doing it on mine, you may need to pause if you need longer time than what I'm taking. Any number that ends in an 8 is even, so it's composite. And any number that ends in 0 is even, so it is also composite. So we just got rid of half of our numbers right there, half of our numbers. Because again, the only even number that is prime is the number 2, and the number 1 is not prime or composite. Now, before we get into our 3s, let's move on to the 5 real quick, because the 5 is another one that is easy, the divisibility rule is easy for. We said that a number is divisible by 5 if it ends in a 0 or a 5. Well, we already got rid of the numbers that end in 0, but all of these numbers here end in 5. So 5 would be prime, 1 times 5, but everything else is composite. Okay, we're kind of getting somewhere now. All right, so the number 3 is prime. The number 7 is prime. 9, you can do 3 times 3, so it's composite. 11 is prime. 13 is prime. 17 is prime. 19 is prime. 21, you can do 3 times 7, so it is composite. 23 is prime. 27, you can do 3 times 9, so it's composite. 29 is prime. 31 is prime. 33, you can do 3 times 11, so it is composite. 37 is prime. 39, you can do 3 times 13, so it is composite. Remember our rule there, 3 plus 9 is 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so that means 39 is divisible by 3. 41 is prime. 43 is prime. 47 is prime. 49, 7 times 7 is 49, so 49 is composite. 51 might be one that you would skip over, but 5 plus 1 is 6, and that's divisible by 3, so that means 51 is divisible by 3. 53 is prime. 57, 5 plus 7 is 12, that's divisible by 3, so nope. 59 is prime. 61 is prime. 63, 6 plus 3 is 9, divisible by 3, so composite. 67 is prime. 69, 6 plus 9 is 15, which is divisible by 3, so that's composite. 71 is prime. 73 is prime. 77, 7 times 11, so that means it's composite. 79 is prime. 81, 9 times 9, or 8 plus 1 is 9, divisible by 3, so it is definitely composite. 83 is prime. 87, 8 plus 7 is 15, which is divisible by 3, so it's composite. 89 is prime. 91, this is a little tricky one because 9 plus 1 is 10, so it's not divisible by 3, but 91 is divisible by 7. 91 is divisible by 7, so it is composite. 93, 9 plus 3 is 12, that's divisible by 3. 97 is prime, and 99, you could do 9 times 11, get 99, so it is composite. All right, so we are left with our, waiting for my highlighter to get up here, we are left with our prime numbers. So please make sure that you have these prime numbers written down. It's going to be very helpful for the next thing that we're going to be doing in another lesson. So you should have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, and 97. And that's it.